Hey gang, welcome to my plant room. It is chaos. I said in another video recently that the plant shelves and cabinet that we have in our living room, I feel like I'm trying to make them feel like this really organized collection. Like I'm getting like name tags for all the plants and they're made. Like it's where a lot of my all of my Hoyas are, and where a lot of my my smaller anthurium are. Like I'm trying to make it look like a display of a plant collection. In my eyes, I'm seeing it as like the autistic plant hobbyist in me is in that room, and then the ADHD plant hobbyist in me is in this room. It is utter chaos. You can't see all of the chaos here. I've also got plants on this wall and I've got plants on this wall. It's quite rapidly turned into a bit of a jungle in here, which I'm okay with. Today, I feel like this video is like a little bit of a tease because I know you guys, or at least some of you guys, have been wanting to see this room and have a proper tour about how it's all set up and everything. And I just keep giving you little snippets, barely anything really. This is probably the most you've ever seen it. Today, I'm not doing a tour. I'm not doing a tour in here. It's not anywhere near where I want it to be in terms of sharing the whole thing with you. But what I would like to try and do is make more content about setting it up and making it look the way I want it to. So today, I'm focusing on this middle section. The little shelving unit in here is the one that I got from Dibor, and I'm so happy that it fits in there. Originally, when I thought about filming this video, I was like, oh, I could take out the shelf and I could show you it up close and, talk about it. But I've got some grow lights up here, but I've also got some grow lights on the side here and over on that side. And these ones are, they're zip tied on. These ones are stuck on with magnets, and to pull the shelf out I'd need to take some of those sets of lights off, and then that causes chaos because they're all attached together and things end up falling down and hitting leaves. And honestly, I really don't want to have to touch the lights ever again, because every time I do, one of them ends up falling down and then I end up with a broken leaf or a full snapped leaf. I'd really rather not move anything. So it's in there. As you can see, there are already some things on it. I'm going to take everything that's on it off. I've already started doing that. And then I want to restyle it. That's the aim of today. I think it's going to be a really good space for some of my smaller plants that like higher light. This is what we're reading at the moment. So we're at 19.1 degrees Celsius and it's just changed to 57% humidity. I would say for at this point in the year, it's November, I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. We're turning into a little bit of a waffle. This room and our bedroom are on the north facing side of this apartment. It's got tiny little square windows. The light is really, really poor. Up until this year, I have not had plants in this room unless they were in the grow tent. So if you didn't know, I used to have a grow tent. I used to actually had an online plant shop and the grow tent was where I kept a lot of the plants for the shop, just because it was a completely isolated area that was its own little kind of community. So I knew all the plants in there were absolutely safe from anything else that was going on in my collection. I think it was a couple of years ago now, we decided to close the plant shop, and I kept the grow tent for a little while with my collection in it. I have got a couple of videos on that actually. And eventually I just admitted to myself that the way I've always felt about grow tents is true, and I don't like them. I think they can be wonderful environments. I think I got that one through working with a brand, but with the shop in mind and not for my own personal collection. I've never liked grow tents. I collect plants. I want to be able to see them in my environment. I don't want them to be shut away. I just don't. I've got my cabinet, which I can see through, and that's fine. But to shut them away in a grow tent, and it was a big grow tent, it's this big black tent that just took up so much space. didn't like it. So we've recently actually, I mean, it's been taken down for a really long time, but we've recently passed that on. And why was I waffling about this? Oh, basically. So the grow tent was its own little kind of environment. So the temperature and like humidity and light and everything was really easy to control. This room naturally is very cold, very grey, and it's not nice at all. And I've not really wanted to put plants in here. She says with a whole bunch of plants just out in the open. When we took down the grow tent, that was back in like, what was it? Fungus that? That was back in like springtime, and obviously spring, summer, the temperatures were completely okay in here. Light was still an issue, but I've got loads of grow lights, so that's not an issue. And I was worried about the autumn winter in this room, and so far it's been okay. And actually if like, I mean, I've got the window cracked open just a little bit at the moment, but if the window's shut and like the door is pulled shut, the grow lights in here actually bring up that temperature, because they're all like, all of the ones that I've got in here do emit some heat. So they've really helped with the temperature. They've really helped bring the temperature up. With them bringing the temperature up, I think they've actually brought the humidity down. But then whenever I like go around and water the plants, the humidity rises again. Obviously plants kind of emit their own humidity, and they are all very much grouped together. So I think, like, I've been looking, oh, I've probably changed the temperature because it's got up to 21.3 whilst I've been holding it. I've been kind of checking in, not so much with the temperature over the last few days, because I'm still not worried. Like, we're at the beginning of November. I'll be more worried about the temperature like late December, January time, like when it gets really bitterly cold. But the humidity over the last kind of couple of weeks, I've been monitoring this, and it's stayed around 56 to like 77. Like, those are the kind of numbers that I've seen in this room, and I'm happy with that. I think the majority of the plants in this room will be really, really happy with that. I just noticed that there are some like dry bits on my Hupersia. She says, talking about humidity, I think I let it dry out a little bit too much on one time recently. Okay, recording for like very nearly 9 minutes, and I've not done anything. This was not how this video was supposed to go. I've been waffling. I'm very sorry. Let's just crack on with what I wanted to do. I'm also super aware that my window's right there, and like the apartment complex that I live in, there's apartments kind of over the way, and if any of them looked, like if anybody in those apartments looked out their windows, they would definitely be able to see me talking to you guys. So I'm feeling a tad self-conscious. But let's crack on. Okay, I am, oh my God, can you see this? Oh, I so want a massive, beautiful Albo Syngonium, and every time I try and like propagate it, I end up losing a load of leaves, and it never really roots. Like, you guys, I thought Syngonium were like supposed to be easy, but it never seems to work for me. And then if it does start growing, it starts pushing out the majority of like white leaves. Like, what is that about? Anyway, right, let's move that out of the way. I'm going to move my Anthurium pallidiflorum just because it's blocking quite a lot of your view of this. This was its newest leaf. It got a little bit wonky and bent. A little bit sad. I'm considering chopping this one off just because it is starting to really be crunchy. I don't know. Where can I put it? Right, okay. I'm just gonna move. Woo! What did I say about not wanting to move lights? I was just trying to move a wire and it fell down. Ugh. So annoying. Okay, right. Okay, I just wanted to give you a view this way round. I was just trying to tuck this wire kind of onto the shelf a little bit more, which is what made these lights fall down. So obviously, I mean, I say obviously, it might not be obvious. The shelving unit itself is to put together. So I can't do anything about these poles, which is kind of why I've put my variegated string of hearts down the centre to kind of like try and cover that up a little bit and just make it look a little bit less like two black poles. I've put the shelves like directly into the middle of that section. I did consider like moving them slightly over. I don't know. Let's see. God, honestly, this I cannot wait for this area to be like styled and just be done. Although that probably never will happen, but I just feel like I'm constantly like the plants are on this shelf in no particular order, rhyme or reason. They just end up being put here. If I had, you know, to be honest, if I had the tools, I would remove these two, bring the shelves closer together and secure them, but I would remove those two sections. Like if I had like a metal spinny cut thing so that you could really see the shelves in all their glory, but I don't want them off center. I'm going to move it back to a more central position. It's just a shame that you can't really see that middle section unless you're looking from like, I suppose, different angles. I really want that wire to be like up. Ooh. Please just stay. Whoop. Better. Okay. So that's not central. I mean, nothing's straight in this house, but we'll try and make it a bit more central. Just got an alert on my watch that says, stressful period, high stress has drained your battery. Take time to relax today. I love having this YouTube channel and I love sharing it with you guys, but I actually do find filming quite stressful, especially when like it's been a heavy week in work, and I would say my social battery is right down, way down, and like ideally like my social battery and my communication battery, like they're both on the floor, and ideally I would spend today not really talking to people, but then if I did that I wouldn't have a video for you for next week, and then that would like add to my stress. So I'm just I'm like pushing through, and it's just funny that my watch recognizes that I'm like all I'm doing is filming and engaging in my hobby, which in theory should be this really lovely thing, but it's draining. It's draining for me. Not your fault, guys. All me. I find it hard to balance my life. I can't remember why I put you back in this position. I think I put you there just to like talk a little bit about the style that I go for in here. So like I was saying earlier, my style in the living room for displaying plants is quite like, whilst there's a lot of plants and there's nothing minimal about the amount of plants that are out there, it's more minimal in the way that it looks. Like the shelves that I've got out there have the like it's a real visual thing. So I've got like, it's a white wall behind the shelves are black, and then they've got like the glass shelf, like the actual shelves on them, like this one's wood, fake wood, in there it's glass. So like, so you've got like the colours I can't explain the way my mind works. So the colours are like black and white so far, and then there's a lot of green, like a lot of green. There's not a lot of other colours. Like I haven't really got any colourful pots out there. Like there's the odd little like pop of colour, but in my brain and like visually how I see things, it feels minimal. Whereas in here, it's a lot less minimal. It really, like in here, plays into the side of me that loves that kind of like whimsy goth vibe, forest fairy kind of aesthetic. Like, you probably can't really see the wallpaper in here, to be honest, but it's got mushrooms and snails and like flowers and moths on it, and I love that wallpaper so much. And then I feel like the style in here, it's got that, like, I don't know, I feel like the wood kind of adds in like a woodsy foresty vibe. And like part of my styling in here is there's going to be like little trinkets. So next door it's just plants, like there's nothing additional, like, yeah, there's no like little trinkets to like decorate around the area, whereas in here I have got some little bits and bobs I like to include. So for example, I have this little, it's a blue jay feather, I believe, that I've framed in this glass. I found this on, it was the weekend of my 30th birthday where Steve had taken me away for like a little weekend away, and we were just exploring the property that we were staying on, and I looked down and there was just this gorgeous blue feather, and it's not like a morbid fascination or like curiosity. I don't feel like it's, maybe it is a bit morbid. I don't know. I'm like, I love feathers. I really love, is it considered like taxidermy bugs? Like I wouldn't want like a taxidermy animal in my home, but I love the way that people display butterflies and beetles, and I really, really love like the bird skulls. I really, really want a raven skull. And yeah, little things like that I love. And there's a real tug and pull. This is such a waffly video, honestly, I'm so sorry. There's a real tug and pull because I am vegan, so like I would really love to purchase like a couple of butterflies, and like, oh my god, the blue carpenter bumblebee. Oh, I so want one of those. And whilst like I've looked at a couple of them and they say that they're like ethical, there's like a real like, are you? Like, I don't know. Like there was, I can't remember what website it was, but there was one website that sounded like actually legit, where I don't know, I'm gonna stop waffling, but like I would love some of those little things to like display in here. Like that's the vibe, like, yeah, whimsy goth, maybe a bit witchy, like just a little bit mythical, I don't know. So I've got, so random, I've got the feather that I would really like to include. This is completely off topic, but these are like a pair of shears that are like, I can't remember where I got them from. They don't close, they don't work, they're really, really stiff, but I like the kind of like vintagey aesthetic that they give the space, so I'd like to put those on these shelves. I have this random little tarot card reader. It's supposed to be a bookmark, but it's really thick. Like there's no way I'm putting that into a book, it would ruin. So I'm just gonna have that like displayed, because again, skull, tarot, it fits with the vibe. I have got, I've got this shell, which I found yonks and yonks ago. I've got no memory of where it was found, but I've had it for a really long time and I'd like to put that on here. I do have somewhere, where is a really good question though. I've got a little cup full of really cute pebbles and shells from a recent trip to Barry Island. Me and Steve went to Barry Island in Wales in the summer, and there was just so many cool shells and pebbles, and I got a little collection, and I was planning on putting them on the shelves, but I don't completely know where they are right now. And then I've got some crystals. Can't remember what this one is. Maybe jade. I did have it written down somewhere. And I've got a little, I think it's probably the same crystal semi-precious stone, but it's in the shape of a T-Rex, which I love. So silly. I love it. So I want to put those on here. I've had this little Russian doll for so long. I had this when I lived with Mum. And I had it for quite a few years. Well, not quite a few, maybe at least 2 years before I met Steve. I met Steve in 2013. So if we say I got this in like 2011, we're in 2024 now. I've had this for a long time. It does open. It does have all the little ones inside, but I would quite like to include that kind of on the styling of the shelf. It might not end up staying on this little shelf. It might end up kind of just anywhere within this area. So I think what I'm going to try and do is set you up so that you can really see the shelves and like maybe just not see me and just style. And I might talk through some bits. I might just kind of like fast forward it a little bit, maybe put some music behind it, and just let's just see where we go. See how far we get. Okay, I think this is the best that I can do for you right at this moment in time. Like I've tried going from like the left and the right, and it's just not really working how I want it to. I think, yeah, you can see, hang on, let me push this back into this corner. This is my Peperomia incana, which has been very neglected, so I thought I'd bring it out here. Probably needs a stake or something, but I feel like it kind of works. You can see here, like, this I feel fits with the vibe. It's a snake propagation station. Could probably move it over actually a little bit just to bring it into shot. It's got some of my Ripsalis Paradoxa, the big one in it, major. I am struggling a bit, gang. This isn't looking how I was hoping it was gonna look. I'm just gonna move this back there. I'm gonna just put that in the middle here for a minute, because I'd quite like my Dioscorea discolor here somehow. Like I feel like, oh, why have you've like come unhooked? Like I feel like this plant really works with the kind of like the witchy kind of vibes that I'm going for. Because of the colouring and like the way it grows. Maybe I need to remove my Peperomia incana and find a different home for that. Will that fit in that little... Oh God. I don't think that's going to work, is it? Maybe that'll have to go somewhere else. It would be really cool if I could put it down on the like bottom shelf somewhere and like the vines wrap up around this one day. But that's not like it's not a quick thing that would happen. And I don't know what's happened. Like I thought it was because it got a bit dry, but I've given it a drink, but I don't really, basically like some of the leaves are like curled up, and I'm not completely sure why that would have happened. It was here on the front of the shelf, so maybe it was just getting a bit too much light. Maybe it doesn't want to be here. Just thought the colouring could really, really work. The kind of like purples and like almost grey tinge to it. Oh my God, what I would love to put on this shelf, but I don't think would like all the light, is this guy. Let me move this back a minute. This guy, oh, you're not going to be able to see it properly. I'll have to show you another time. This is my very new begonia. Oh, Malachosticta. It's probably pronounced really, really poorly, but I'm in love with this begonia. It's so beautiful. It's got like a grey green kind of leaf with the pink spots, and it's just stunning. Okay, speaking of begonias, this guy would probably be quite cool to have here, because it's kind of does give like weird creepy guy vibes. I just don't know if it would want that much light. So I had this one in like a quarantined kind of like container because it was quite a new one from eBay. And I've recently taken it out of that container and it's been watered. But whilst it was in that container, it was kind of like on the floor. So not really in a space with like really bright light. And this section it's a lot of light. Hang on, should I get my, where's my light meter recordery thing? I've got this little thing. Not that this stuff like means huge amounts to me, but it might mean some stuff to you. So here it's kind of saying, what are we on? We're on foot candles. So like depends where the light's facing, isn't it? Because if I point it this way, there's not a light there, but if I point it this way, there's a light right in front of it. So kind of fluctuating between like 240, I've seen 290, but up here, oh, see up here we're getting, oh, Christ. It's just climbing. You can see that number climbing. Okay, and then like, does that mean we're in the thousands? So depending on how close you are to these lights, it's like, what's this one getting? Because that one probably needs more light. That's just 325. Okay, that's quite helpful actually. Okay, so this one is a Pachyphytum oviferum. It's like a nice purpley blue one, and to keep that, probably need to drink actually, to keep that colouring it does need more light, so I will actually put it back up here. I want to change the pot it's in, like I would rather it be in like a bit more of a shallow pot so that you could see more of the plant. Like I feel like it doesn't quite fit in the pot that it's, well, I feel like it doesn't quite fit in the slot in the pot that it's in, but that one would definitely need more light to keep the kind of bluey colour, so that's a good shout. Well done, brain. The begonia is leaking on me because it's wet, so maybe I haven't really put anything in these middle shelves because I can't see them. Maybe the begonia could go, why is it's so floppy, like probably need to support it a bit to be honest, but maybe it could be in this bit, like that's less light but still kind of adds to the creepy vibes. Yeah, okay, I kind of like that. Okay, considering light levels, I'm going to move this little succulent. This is actually, you guys can't see, hang on, let me see if I can like, whoop. So these are two different succulents. I can't remember the name. I think this one was like frosted cube something or other. No idea what that one was. But there is a bluey one and then a purple one. So that's going to need more light. What's this shell getting? 430, 440. Okay, I'm going to swap the shell because the shell doesn't need to photosynthesize with this guy. Okay, cute. I'll put you down there a minute. need to give this a bit of a clean. I think I might just put that on this middle shelf because you can't really see it, but I like to have my little tiny glass vessels for propping things in. So I have this glass container that looks like a coffin, which I feel does really work with the vibes. At the moment, all I've got in it is this little, again, I don't think, hang on, let me put it down. This little, it's a Piper, I can't remember the name, Porifolium. And it's the one that has like the velvety black leaves and then the pink veining. And it's a Piper, so it does get those like crystals on the front and on the back, so they're not pests. They're like the weird little crystally vibe things. And I did want that guy up here because it does match the vibe. It actually broke, like the thing that connects it broke off of this one, so I put like a little bit of a black wire in there and glued it shut. And it does work, but it doesn't, I mean, it sits, actually, I used to have to put, this little black band around it because it wouldn't sit shut, but I think that probably sits, oh no, it doesn't sit shut at all. That doesn't sit shut at all. Okay, I will continue to put the little black band around it. It's just a bit annoying really having to do it, like you can't really see it once it's on and the thing's down, but a bit annoying. It is dusty, like I'll need to give that a bit of a clean, but I feel like that adds quite nicely to the vibe. Cute. Okay, hang on, let me step back and just see. Okay, yeah, I like that. I did have this really sad. So this is an aeonium, which, like, I really struggle with aeonium, apparently. I mean, it's very rooted, which you can see, but there's so much, like, there's new growth, but so much dying as well. It's an aeonium green tea variegated. I did have it just kind of on the shelves, but it like the bottle's a bit tall, so you can't really appreciate it. Maybe if I just put it down, if I put it down on the bottom, it'll get a little bit of light. A little bit of light, probably more than it was getting before. Oh my god, so many leaves are falling off. And I will endeavour to pop that up soon. Probably just turn this off. I would quite like to put this guy in here. I keep touching the patchy Weissman, whatever it is, so it keeps, like I'm knocking off the, oh, what is it called? The white coating. The word's not coming to my head, but that doesn't come back, so I'm annoyed at myself. I need to stop knocking it. I'd really like to add this guy on here. God, I can't remember its name. It's the Dancing Bones cactus. But again, its pot is too tall and it looks a bit ridiculous, but I feel like it could be a really nice one to add in if I repot it. I'm going to put it back up at the top and I might repot it at another point. I'm going to put my little Russian doll in here with this glass bottle. I have, this is another Piper that I've recently got from eBay. It is, again, you can't really see it, hang on. So it's, all I remember is Pixel, Piper Pixel something, so it's a variegated one. And it was sent to me in moss. It has got roots. I don't think it has a new growth point just yet, but I'm trying to just keep it in a very high humidity space, like for both. Oh no, ugh. You were just sat in there really nicely, like what's going on? Ugh. Stop, what are you, why? Let's go the other way around. I feel like you're twisting so much, you're going to pull your own roots off. Okay. It was in the other way around, twisted it around. I'm going to just put that on there or up here. Oh, I really want to repot this one, but I don't know what to repot it into, gang. I've got no idea how much of that I would have edited out, but I'm getting really grumpy. Sorry. Okay, so I've like, oh God, it looks awful. I absolutely need to take it out of that white pot. I hate it. I hate it in that white pot. So it's looking how it's looking. I think I'm getting frustrated because I want it to be like, I want to look at it and be like, yes, that's it. That's what I've wanted this to look like for so long. And actually, like, realistically, plant displays don't do that, do they? They're constantly changing. You're constantly having to move things around because you bring new ones in or because the plants have outgrown their space. Like, I know it's going to be a work in progress, but I just really want it to look really, really good. Right. Part of this video was... So you guys know that Dibor sent me the little wooden shelves that we've been styling. They've also sent me some jars that I'm really excited about. So I think they're called Apothecary Jars, which I personally think really fit with the aesthetic here. And when I was talking to the lady that I speak to at Dibor about this kind of like idea that I had, I was really excited. So basically, I'm really, really bad at using all of the planty products that I own. Like, I've got not so many, but I've got like different fertilizers. Oh my God, that bird was so loud. I've got different fertilizers. I've got different like pest treatments. There's like so many different types of liquids and powders. And I was thinking, because the like packaging of them is ugly, I hide them away. Like, I put them into like drawers or cabinets, and then because they're hidden away, I either forget they exist, or the getting to them is like a few too many steps, and therefore I don't do it. So like with fertilizing my plants, if my fertilizer is not easy access, I'm not using it. And I know to some of you that might just sound really lazy or like just not make any sense, but if any of you are neurodivergent and in particular have like ADHD, you'll know that if something is just too many steps, like the executive functioning in my brain just can't. Like, so I either don't do the thing, or I just can't. I'll skip a step. For example, like with fertilizing, if I have to open my cupboard door, measure out my fertilizer, put it into the water, get the water, and then do the thing, I would rather just get water and water my plants. So for my plants, that's not good. They end up really malnourished. So I was thinking, if they can be out in amongst my plants, easy access, it might make that easier for me. So basically, I did want a few of these, not a few, like I wanted 2 sets of these, just because I feel like there might not be enough of the bigger sized ones to fit enough of the liquid in, but we'll see. They weren't able to send me, like, they wanted to send me out 2 packs, but unfortunately there was some warehouse issues, and by the time they got to it, there was only enough to send 1 out. I know they will be getting these back in stock though, so don't worry if you want some. So they do have these in green and, I think it was like a greeny colour, like green and brown glass, like brown amber glass. I went with the green just because I do really love amber glass, but I just feel like, I mean, you can't really tell by looking at it from here, but like this wood, the wood of the shelves, it's quite a lot of like that orangey brown wood, and I didn't want to add in the amber glass and it be too brown. So instead I went with the green, which you could argue I've got a lot of green in this space, but So let's have a look at these sizes. There's this one, which is the biggest. So it's called green, but I'd almost say it was like a grey. It's like a grey green. Hang on. Just looking at it under a grow light. I suppose it is. I mean, it's not green, is it? It's a green. This is the biggest size. It will hold 1,000 mils, which it says on the top. And then we've got this one. Oh God, I'm sorry. You're right next to my mic, aren't you? So probably really loud. I've got this one, which is 500. This little one, which is 250. And then I think, oh God, should probably have done this sat down at the beginning. I think there's 2 of this. Oh no. Ooh. Okay, whew. That was a bit stressful. There's these 2 smaller ones. So this one is 125 and then this one is 60. I love the vibe. I love the vibe of these. They're completely glass. There's no plastic. So it's not like a stopper. So it's if it fell over and didn't smash because it's glass, the lid will come off. So just be wary of that. Nobody else really comes in this room. I haven't got like any kids or pets or anything that are going to be knocking into this, but just be mindful that it's not secure. It would absolutely fall off. While I'm saying this to you, I am wondering, I'm going to put it in there anyway and just see. But so one of the products I want to put in there is, so this is the fertilizer that I'm using. It's the Hesse Orchivit. And you know, I bought this ages ago now, and like a week or 2 after they released their Hesse houseplant. And I remember being gutted because I obviously had bought that one, but I'm pretty sure, at least at the time, the NPK like fertilizer solution, like these numbers here, it's blurry, these numbers here were the exact same on the houseplant one to the Orchivit one. So I don't think the price was any different. So it's not like they were marketing at the houseplant. I don't know. But anyway, this liquid, like I don't know what's in it, obviously, but I feel like it crystallizes really, really easily. And I also feel like it oozes out of its container. So like you can kind of see, I mean, it's dusty as well, so just ignore that. But like, it's a bit of a weird one, and I have got it in a squirty bottle, and that kind of like, it gets there's definitely like crystallization around the top where it's almost like somehow managed to escape, but it doesn't leak. Like it's like it, I don't know, evaporates out of the thing that it's in. So I'm wondering how that's going to be in these bottles. And the other thing that I wanted to put in these bottles was my isopropyl alcohol, but this does evaporate, doesn't it? Like if I left the lid off of this, it would eventually evaporate, wouldn't it? What does flashpoint mean? Does that mean it would just like combust? Because it says that would happen at 12 degrees, which, I mean, it's obviously fine in here. I think I might do a tiny little bit of research into this one, because if I put this into the glass container and it was not like underneath the grow light but near the grow light, would that have some kind of impact? Like, I want to be safe here, guys, but the problem is that this has leaked when I've poured it and like half of the information is gone. So I'll do a little bit of research, but I did want to put this into there. But then I was thinking, if I put it into there and it's not like a airtight container, would it evaporate slowly over time? But now I'm just more concerned that it might like combust. So I might not put that in there. I do also have, I've got some diatomaceous earth that I was wanting to put into one of those little containers. But when I realised that I was only going to get one set of them, I was like, I might not have enough kind of space to do that, so I might not do that. But I did. I purchased this little pumpkin pot. This was actually from Dunelm, and I thought it would be perfect for housing diatomaceous earth. Obviously it's a pumpkin and it's something that I'd have out kind of on display all year round, but I'm okay with that. Like I said, we're going like slightly witchy vibes here, so I don't know why pumpkin's witchy, but the way my brain works. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit on the floor, because that's where I like to do these kinds of things, and I'm gonna decant some of the liquids into those glass bottles and just see where we get to. So let me change the angle. I'm editing this video, is going to be really horrible. Okay, welcome to the floor of this room. This bag here is a begonia Sinbad cutting that I got off of eBay, and it was like a fresh cutting. It's immediately, like it almost immediately started like flooping over. So it's in water in this bag, in this like own high humidity dome situation going on. So that's what that is. If you watched my last video, which was the can you train a crawler to climb, this is how my Philodendron gloriosum is looking. And I was editing that video like over the last few days, and I realised that these two leaves have started shifting. Like, I'm pretty sure this one was like kind of over here before, so really happy that they've started to shift down. This one's still not quite, like it's shifted a bit, but it's like ideally I would love for it to face the front with the others. I have tightened up the braces, as it were, a little bit more since filming it. Yeah, I feel like I didn't think I really captured, like, so this is the next growth point, and I'm pretty sure it was more like this when I potted it in there, and now it's kind of up. It's been a week since I did this, so it's like it's moved, which is interesting. I'm happy with how this is looking so far. Just thought I'd give you a little update on that. Oh my god, this room's just chaos. Okay, so the other liquids that I was thinking about putting into these jars are, I've got some SB Plant Invigorator and Bug Killer. This is this is the concentrate. You have to mix it with water. So in the bathroom I have got like a spray bottle that has a mixture of it in there already, but I forget that I have this concentrate. And then I've got some of this seaweed plant feed concentrate, which I haven't used in forever, basically, because I forget that I've got it. So I would actually really like to try and use this a bit more. What I will need to do, my brain is like thinking through things. What is the time? Christ. What I will need to do is, if I decant all of the liquid into these, like from these bottles into one of these, I will need to make sure that I either take a photo of the instructions, which would probably be much easier, and have like a separate folder in my like photo album on my phone, or make like a label and stick it onto the box. There's so many things going through my head right now. Like, I'm thinking, how will I shake these? I feel like some of these things need to be shaken before you can use. Screw it. I need to stop thinking about this stuff so much. I can definitely there's definitely crystal in here. Like, can you hear that? Like the crystal swirling around at the bottom, like the crystallized whatever it is. I wonder what it is that crystallizes. I was trying to see if it says anything about what might crystallize, but there is this little bit at the bottom that says urea is an organic molecule and not a salt. It will not generate conductivity, which is perfect for salt sensitive plants. So an organic molecule and not a salt, like salt is kind of like a crystal. Is that what that is? I need to stop thinking about stuff. Okay. Oh, now it's like choosing which to put in what. So I've got the 250 bottle here, and this seaweed did have 300 ml in it. I have used some of it. I might not be able to fit it all in there, but I feel like, oh God, I feel like I want to put the SB Plant Invigorator into the 500 one. I don't know what I'm going to use. Like these two little ones, I might not be able to use for stuff like this, unless I got like, I really liked that that Super 5 stuff. I really liked that, so I could probably put some of that in here. I have got some cactus and succulent fertilizer next door, but I don't think either of these would be big enough for those either. Like I feel like I need like the 1500 and the 251. But maybe I could use these for propagating in. Like they're quite cute little bottles for propagating in, so maybe that's what I'll end up doing. I'm going to put the seaweed into this one. Be interesting to start using this, but maybe I don't know. I was going to say maybe I shouldn't use this until the growing season again, but these guys really do have an artificial environment, so it's kind of the growing season all year round. Oh, why do I feel nervous? Maybe that's why. Oh my God. You see. Oh, I'm gonna fit it all in. Oh, that's good. I think I bought this ages ago, like over a year ago. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I haven't used it. And I bought it because I think it's a Russo. Is it the Russo plant? Is his name Tyler? But that account, I'm pretty sure, uses seaweed fertilizer. Okay, my first little. Oh, it looks like a little like scientific little witchy potion. I'm just gonna put that there for now. I'm gonna put the SP Plant Invigorator and Bug Killer into the 500 ml one. I don't use this a lot because I do typically have beneficial bugs wandering around in my collection, which I just really appreciate all the hard work that they do. But when I'm having like ideally in an ideal world, when I'm doing like, because I've got a subscription of them, so when the new batch is like due to come, I would take away all my old sachets, give all of my plants like a spray down with this, and then introduce the new sachets again. That's an ideal world, but I haven't been doing that. But whenever I don't have the beneficials kind of wandering around doing their job in my collection, I do use this if there's ever a concern, or like I use the hydrogen peroxide. I just kind of, okay. I've just spotted my huge bottle of Sensi CalMag. This is a new bottle. Oh God, this is a new bottle as well. I literally only opened it the other day. Shoot, how much is in here? A litre. So it would need the biggest one. Okay, change of plan. I'm gonna not use this one. I'm going to put it in the bathroom with the other, like the actual spray bottle that I have. I'm going to put the Hesse into the smaller one, and then I'm going to put my CalMag into here. And like what I was saying earlier about not being able to shake them, I will be able to stir. Like I've got so many like stirring devices I could use to stir these up. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh my God, I really don't like the smell of this stuff. You see what I mean about like the crystallizing? It smells like vitamins, like really strong, like multivitamins. It's gross. I don't like it. You see the kind of sediment at the bottom, like that crystallized sediment. Cute. It smells so bad. Okay, there's that. I will keep you guys posted as to whether it like starts to crystallize around the top. Put that up there. Put the lid back on that because it stinks. And then let's put the CalMag into here. I used this the other day and I made like the tiniest little hole. Oh no, oh no, oh, I haven't got any tissue near me, have I? I made the tiniest little hole in the top of there, so it's going to be really ridiculous trying to get this out. I don't think I have anything that I can make the hole bigger with. Here goes. Why are you dribbling from there? God's sake. Woo. Too aggressive. Okay. Oh, I love the way it looks so much. It's very brown though, isn't it? It's made the bottle go brown. Okay. I've got my two little vessels. I think I'll probably just end up putting them on the shelf just as like, where are the words? Styling. And then I'm going to put my diatomaceous earth into my little pumpkin. I don't think I've got much left, to be honest. No, it's a really pathetic amount, but... I've got like so much powder and liquid everywhere. There we go. Cute. Okay, right, let's finish styling. I think I've been filming for like 2 hours. I'm gonna hate editing this video. I think for now, this middle section is kind of done. So I've put my pumpkin with my diatomaceous earth over here. This is the seaweed fertilizer foliar spray. I've got one of the smallest empty bottle just there. Oh, I've got the other empty bottle just next to the pumpkin. I've put this is the CalMag one just here. You can't really see it. You can see it better in real life. And then just here is the Orchid Hesivit. I think I'm happy with how this section looks at the moment. Like, I'm going to repot this guy. This guy's not going to be in this thing forever. I think I would like to, I love this begonia here. I think I would like to have something a bit more leafy up here, but that's a really high light section, so maybe I'll need to think about that. I do want to add this guy in here somewhere once it's been repotted. yeah, obviously the middle section looks a bit weird because you can't really see it. I don't know, what do you guys think? It's not perfect, it's not like done in my head, but it looks better than it did, and I do really love having products that I should be using a lot more, like in an easy access and beautiful container. Like, I really do love the vibe of the Apothecary Jars, so I'm really happy to have that done. Okay. If you would like your own little shelf, I'll have it linked below, and I'll also have the Apothecary Jars linked below in both the green and the amber glass. Like I said earlier, the green might be out of stock at the moment, but they will be getting in stock again, so just keep an eye out on it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Would you style this differently? Like, this top shelf is not done, like nothing else, none of this is finished. None of it's finished. I'm very ready to stop filming, but I'm happy to have that done. So thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait until this place is like a bit more styled up and finished so that I can actually share a plant tour with you guys. I'll probably end up doing it in like two different videos, like a living room one and then the plant room one. If you'll be interested in seeing that one, like, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.